on, I'm taking this. I need to screenshot this. This is a fantastic face.
He's asking a football manager a question and he's starting off by saying what he reckons, you know. So, you know, obviously, you know, holistic in the first year and now it's just details. Am I right, Ange? Am I right? Ange? Am I right? It's like, shut the fuck up.
Ange. 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 And everyone's like, yeah, yeah, fucking yeah, yeah. Oh, fucking God.
And also, you know, the way we kind of train and obviously...
Let me see his answer. Sorry, I wasn't even listening.
Enormous changes, both from a sort of physical perspective of personnel on and off the field, and also, you know, the way we kind of train and obviously the way we play. Yeah, we're still in that stage of, you know, something's not really foundational until you see it kind of repeat itself over a course of, you know, 2 or 3 seasons. So we're still in that stage of establishing really strong concrete foundations for the football club moving forward. But certainly, you know, the players and the staff now are a lot more familiar with the way we want to do things. So that allows you then to focus on other areas and like I said, go down into the detail a little bit more. But yeah, we still got some real work to do to become the team we want to become. But certainly, you know, from my perspective, the progress we've made in the space of 12 months.
So this is the part that I'm going to, because I saw this quote be used about the progress we've made in the last 12 months. And they talk about, he says that we're going to challenge for the league, but how are we going to challenge for the league when buying Archie Gray's, yada, yada, which again, is just like, I always feel like listening to a press conference is so different than reading it, than looking at the tweets that come out from
every
it. Because
time, man.
when I worked for the Cowboys, I saw it firsthand. When I was an intern, firstly, one of my main jobs was to just run camera on the press conference for Cowboys TV, the in-house TV production we did. And I would hear him answering all this. I'm like, wow, these are lovely answers. What great, you know, hey, we lost, but he seems, you know, these are very smart worded, well worded. You know, you would think your mother would love hearing these kind of quotes. And then 2 hours later, I refresh on a Google page or ESPN. I see Jason Garrett says XYZ, and it's like, I didn't really get that. And then and then I'm asking my boss, like, bro, I'm watching the press conference. He says all these things, and then they take this bit and they extrapolate it and say he said this. And I was like, why do they do that? Because it didn't sound like that's what he was saying at all to me. And then my boss, who's been working in broadcast media and the richest sports franchise in America for 30 years plus, he turned to me and said, it's a journalist's job to find out what is the most dramatic thing they can pull from any quote. So don't read too much into it. And I said, noted. As an intern, I'm learning, absorbing info. So when a guy in a press conference says all this, and they take boom, 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 and say, this is what he said, that's not actually the truth. No, that's how journalists spin things and create narratives. And to me, this is why I've always fought against the Ange narratives in the media specifically, because I don't feel like it's very fair. Because he's, if anything, too honest. You know, in the movies, when it's like dystopian and the fucking government takes over, and it's like, if you're honest, they're going to kill you. And if you're dishonest, Ange will be killed. They would have already killed him. He's too honest of a man. They take what he said. You know, I don't know. What's the deal with that? Is it just it's every weird, media?
Yeah, like I remember it was a wee while ago now, but I was interviewed for an article in a paper here, and you know, they were chitty chatty, asking me questions. I was giving answers, boo, 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 boo. And then I read the article, and it's like, yeah, I did say those words, but that's not why I said them, and it don't even sound like me anymore. It was like all higgledy-piggledy and twisted, and that was mild. So, you know, that's what they do. I mean, how many times do you read an article? You know, I get my phone, I look in the morning, I look at my news feed, and it'll be a headline, Tottenham told to sell winger or something like that, and it'll be like, you know, you've got to scroll down 3 paragraphs of ChatGPT shit to find what the quote is. Yeah. And it turns out it's just like some fucking bloke that's saying this. It's like the garbage man or something. Who is this guy? Sensationalism, man.
Yeah, I think it's just, yeah, that's why I always think about what my boss said. He was just like, look, They're just gonna find out what gets people out fucking. Because if you say, oh, you know, Jason Garrett, he downplayed the loss and he feels as though we're still constructively building to yada yada yada. That's a lot different than if you say he doesn't give a fuck. He's clearly out of his depth. He said, I don't even care. I don't even know what you're talking about. And make him look like it's like, however they want to turn it, they can. Big upside down, sa. You cannot spin this narrative anything other than love. Remember, for 11 months, that's almost 12 months. That means we have a 2-month-old baby on YouTube, at least. And you're paying your child support. Hi, Jacob. Hope you and your family are well. Thank you so much.
Side answer showing how easy it is to be cool. Easy.
Very easy. It costs nothing to be a cool person. You know, because if, again, Paul, you may not have been here when I played this clip, so it might be new for you. It's okay if you're Ange out. This is just how I'm responding from now on.
I surrender.
Do you know who that was? That's Celine Dion.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, some lady was singing to her. She's, shut the fuck up. I love that clip, honestly. Big upside dancer, man. I hope you're well. Big up Kuva says, I completely agree, Jacob. Journos surely go for what they think will sell. The trouble is, as Joe Public, what other sources do we have? Hard to have no opinion, even if based upon scraps. Kuva, what I would say is, in regards to Ange Postecoglou specifically, when he speaks to the media, is just listen to it rather than read the tweets or so-and-so said this was the quote. Just listen to him say it, listen to the questions asked, and then it gives you a better understanding. Because, Paul, I think a perfect example of this was when they said, oh, Ange says he's gonna win with Tottenham this year because I always win in my second year. That's the quote. Yes, technically it is the quote, but if you listen to it, he's like, why you keep asking me this? What is the deal with this? You asking me, am I supposed to lie? Am I supposed to get up here and say, no, I don't win in my second year? I do. You're asking me, do you win in your second year? And I said, yes. And now it's, oh, well, now you're saying you're going to win. No, I just said that I've never not won.
I actually heard Jim White on Talk Sport twist that quote again, saying, oh, Ange is saying he's going to win a trophy this year. He's not said that. He said, yeah, we want a challenge and all that, and he wins in his second year. But it isn't joined the dots, you know. That's journalists joining the dots saying, oh, Ange said he will win trophy. And it trumps up this whole, you know, who's this arrogant guy? And all he's saying is the shit he's won. You're allowed, like, when you win silverware, you're allowed to say you've won it, you know. I think that's part of the deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Big up Perchy says, Ange gets mountains of praise from the media. I don't see it. I'm not buying the narrative the media is out to get him.
I mean, I don't go on about stuff I've won or anything, you know, but, you know, just...
What was that? That looked like a trophy.
Well, you know.
Yeah. I've got trophies. Hang on.
Hey.
I don't boast about the things I win either.
Oh, look at that, man.
Bro, goalie of the year. Come on.
Yes, man. Yes.
Goalie of the year.
Brilliant.
Come on. Talk to me nicely. We win shit around here, baby.
You're so arrogant, Jacob. Throwing your goalie of the year.
I've never not won the 2019 goalie of the year. Huh? Yeah. I do, you know, I'm not buying the narrative the media is out to get him. I didn't say they were out to get him. I just said they spin things like I perfectly showed here. The Spurs Watch. I can tell you right now without digging into their tweets, and maybe we should as an exercise, but I can tell you right now, whoever runs this account doesn't like Ange. Because why would you only include the first sentence of this? It's either for engagement farming, which I understand. You have a blue tick. But saying this is to fucking piss people off. Because look at the reaction he got. Well, that's a concern. 4th, 5th, next few campaigns, we will be there. Doubling down. Many don't understand. There's nothing funny about a manager who plays one way. They don't want to be successful with the fatty. So basically what you're saying, fatty, is we're not going to win anything. You see what I'm saying? That they tweeted this shit to incite this. But you're saying
Of
that
course.
this is part of the media. Now, it may not be BBC and fucking Sky, but I see it from ESPN accounts, Bleacher Report accounts. Everybody mocks Ange when we lose. Everybody on YouTube mock Ange when we lose. Me, Paul, and a selected others, I feel like are the only ones who just say, look at it from this perspective. Or maybe this is justified, but this part is over the top, you know, and there's always that room for conversation. And I think in regards to the media spinning things to fucking pile on the narrative to Ange, I don't need you to buy into it. I see it with my own two eyes. Ange might be a prophet. I like that. Ange did say there's no reason we can't compete for the title. He's right.
That's right.
When we're all
That's
on 0
different.
points,
Every team.
there's no reason that anybody can't compete for the title. Now you could
Doesn't matter
say
if it's Wolves or any
logistically,
team, man.
like logistically is probably not realistic. But again, another quote that tell me what he said before this and after this and what was the question. And I'd like to hear it in his cadence as well, because I feel like listening to the quote, and the quote that he said was, again, they were talking about his second year and stuff, and like, you know, what would be an improvement. And from a winning perspective, you're of course going to say to win it all, to win, to do the best, to be competing in and around that area. Like if his aspirations aren't there, if he says, yeah, we're shit, we'll probably get fifth again if we're lucky. Well, what kind of hope does that give to anybody? To him, it's just, I think he gets misinterpreted a lot. I think that's a good way of putting it.
That would create a buzz around the ground, wouldn't it? Hey, Ange said we're going to get fifth this year. Yeah. Maybe
Black
get
Juan,
to a
James
semi.
Bond.
Yeah.
There's a huge reason he can't challenge for the title. Come on. Well, you could say now that we've gotten 2 losses in a row, those would be reasons why we can't challenge for a title. But you never know what can happen. If Arsenal lose their starting 11, City get relegated, Liverpool face injuries, and we, for whatever reason, look like a golden goose, immaculate, walking out the thing shimmering, you never know. Like, probability would suggest it's very low. The percentages would not be very high. The casinos would love you to bet this way, but again, I just don't ever like to say things are a final conclusion until they are, or at least mathematically that sense. Like the mathematics behind a lot of what has been said about Ange and his results, etc. You know, I look at the other mathematics and we're first in a lot of categories, so it shows that we're doing something okay, just not fucking scoring the goals. That's the problem,
You know,
in my
it's like,
opinion.
I don't think there's anything wrong with any manager or any sports person saying they're aiming to be number one. They're aiming to compete for top honours. And only one person or team will get through and do that. But that doesn't mean everyone else is some dumb asshole for saying that, oh, well, you said you were going to go and compete and you didn't do it. Well, what the you know?
Yeah.
It's setting it's removing a ceiling from on top of you, you know? If you just say, oh, we're going to finish mid-table, then you'll finish in the bottom half. But if the sky's the limit, which is what Ange has been saying,
this reminds me
there
of
is no
something.
ceiling.
Yeah. What's to stop us from reaching the highest heights? Now, you could argue City and Arsenal might be able to reach higher than our highest heights, sure. But that's not him saying that like, I just think it's so quick to be nitpicky with what a man says. It's crazy to me. And like part of his job is to speak to the media. And everyone's like, can he just shut up? No, he'll get fined. Now his family's losing money because you want him to shut up. But Belgrade Wanderer says, oh, come on, Jacob, there's something in between we can challenge for the time. Again, this is an oversimplification and a reduction of what the man said. So I think at this point, since we're all talking about it, I'm going to pull up the fucking quote. Ange, quote on challenging for title. Let's see. Let's pull up the whole quote. Shall we? Where is it? There's no reason why we can't challenge for the title. Is this the full press conference?
How you doing, Ange? You all right?
Good mod, yeah.
Just get the team news pretty positive, isn't it?
So I guess international.
Look at him looking down, not looking the German.
Oh, he
in
looked
the
in
eye.
he looked in the eye.
Gave him a glance. Gave him a glance.
He looked in the eye. He looked him in the eye. No, sorry, lads. There's a fine line between delusion and honesty. I felt like I haven't told a single lie. Where have I lied, Sava? Can you point it out? Can you send me the time code? Where did I lie? Because to be disillusioned with reality and honesty, like if you're saying I'm on the side of delusion and not on the side of honesty, then you're therefore saying that something I said was wrong or a lie. Please tell me what that was. I'm very curious to know. Paul, have I lied? Anyone else in the chat think that I've lied or strayed from honesty? Hi guys, just came off another channel. More ambition in a funeral. He's talking about Ange. Oh, wait, what did Ange say? Oh, you're saying that Ange is lying, or he's delusional.
And the other guys, Mickey.
Where's the quote?
Trained today, so again we've got training tomorrow. It's unexpected from our perspective. Let's wait and see what they come out with.
Special game Sunday. I was listening to you a few weeks ago talking about potential new cycles here, and Mikel Arteta probably went through a similar one. Do you see similarities?
He didn't call me a liar. He called it. I think it was about Ange. He didn't actually say Ange was a liar either. He was saying that was my inference.
Because I guess every sort of
that was my inference. So he didn't call me a liar.
Situation is kind of unique in itself because they're different clubs and I guess different. Well, there's obviously you know a team and a club and sort of it's about finding the right people in the key clubs decide whether they want to. Not surprising in this sort of stuck to a certain direction. You know, eventually sort of get to a place where their team is.
So I remember this whenever he was talking about like clubs, where they're at, what they're doing, continuing what they're doing, and how we're at the beginning of that, and that we're going to continue to keep. Hang on. Who the fuck are you, Adam Harvey? He's talking. What? I'm not making it about me, but also this is my fucking channel, so it is kind of about me. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't even know who you are, Adam Harvey. But I don't know why. I don't know why you hating on me. Why the motherfuckers hating on me? I don't know.
Is competitive for a sustained period of time.
They're considered Manchester City's main title challengers, but I know you're ultra ambitious as well, and there's a lot of between the clubs, who finishes above who. Do you think this current squad you've got now is capable of challenging Arsenal this season?
You hear that question, Paul? Do you think your squad now is capable of challenging with Arsenal and City?
Well, not specifically Arsenal, but we.
So here's the first part of his answer. Not specifically us.
We want to be a club that can challenge everyone. So
we want to be.
I know. I understand I understood what Sava was talking about. I was wrong. I said he wasn't calling me a liar. It's all good. We figured it out. Where's the mods at? There's Kuva. Yeah, I think there's like a lot of conversations happening in the chat, and then I see it, and I'm like, oh, is he talking about me? Bro, I don't even know who's talking shit anymore or not, but I'm just gonna see what Ange has to say.
That's what we're trying to aim to become, and to do that.
So that's what we're trying. So far, I haven't heard him say we're gonna win the league.
You've got to perform at a certain level on a consistent basis. You've got to have a squad strong enough.
You got to perform at a certain level on a consistent basis, which is what we're trying to do right now.
To do that, to withstand the challenges that inevitably come during the course of a season. But we've started the season fairly solidly from a performance perspective. Obviously, the results haven't reflected that, but
so he's aware of what we're trying to do. It sounds like everything that I've agreed with.
I think we're in a good place to really, push on from last year and improve in all areas of our game. And if we do
push on from last year and improve in all areas of our game.
Do that. I mean, we got close to challenging last year. There's no reason why we can't this year.
That's good.
Huh. So he gave a whole bunch of answer, and the only part that I've seen in the chat today from everybody else is he said we can challenge. What about this fucking answer, this whole ass answer where he's talking about where they are, where we're trying to get, where we've got to do to get there, where we're trying to get, and then once we get there, what's to stop us from challenging? They take that last part out and they say, oh, now you're saying you're going to challenge. Now he says, there's no reason we can't challenge. Let me see. Let me go back to these comments because again, this is crazy. This is crazy to me because the fucking quotes were always, he said he could challenge. He said he could challenge. Where is it? we can challenge for the title. Did you not listen to the context around the answer? The context of around the answer, Belgrade Wanderer and everybody else who loves using the quote, there's no reason why we can't challenge for the title this year. All before that, he said all the things we got to do to get into a position. And then once we're in said position, then what is to stop us from challenging? We almost challenged last year. We did for 10 games, technically. So that's the part that drives me so fucking insane. Like, whether you're Ange in, Ange out is besides the point. Listen to the man's answers before you take fucking the last 7 words of 38, 40 words. I don't know how many words. A lot of words. But you take the last part because it sounds worse. Oh, he said we can challenge. He's fucking delusional. What Spurs fan, or even the manager? Well, how dare they think they can challenge for the Premier League this year? He said, probably not us, but that was the first part of his answer. It's not only us. It's not only them. We got to reach this spot. We got to hit this certain thing. And then once we are there on a consistent basis, then there's no reason why we can't challenge. And I agree. But that's the part everybody leaves out. Everybody leave that part out.
All this talk about, being realistic in football is a right load of old bollocks. Like in 1991, there was no fucking way we were going to win that FA Cup, beating Arsenal in the semi-final. Arsenal was so much better than us. Look, Spurs were a decent side, but Arsenal were they were shooing for the double, man. So realistically, we weren't going to win the cup. But when you dream and you realise that in football everyone's got a chance if you get your shit together, we won it. So realism can piss off as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to always dream and, think of the stars.
Even if I feel like I'm somewhere in between, like part of me wants to reach for the stars and dream and all that. And the other side of me is grounded in reality. Like, I live here. I breathe reality every single day. And by no means do I think we did enough this summer to close the gap from a squad standpoint to the Liverpool, Cities, Arsenals. But we just don't know how things are going to play out. I've seen crazy things happen. I've seen Leicester City win the league.
There you go. Weird shit happens, man, in sport. That's why we watch it, because you never know, do you? Like against Coventry, we were going out, but instead of going home or switching the game off early, we're all there just watching. Well, I was there watching, hoping, maybe a couple of prayers, and we did it. And that's what sport gives you. It's unpredictable, man. Unpredictable. I see, you see headlines saying supercomputer predicts result of Premier League. Fuck it. Fuck off, man. What a load of arse that is.